禅修能改变什么？
What can
也许
meditation
是困
change?
扰20年的身体疼痛，
Perhaps it's the
也许是
physical pain that's
长达
troubled
数
you
年
for
的
20
失眠
years.
痛苦，
Perhaps
也许
it's
是
the
疏离
agony
多
of
年的
year-long
亲子关
insomnia.
系。
Perhaps it's the constrained parents-child relationships over the years.
每天都在发生。
In the classes of Bodhi Meditations, miracles happens every day. Today, let's listen to the personal experiences of a few participants and feel the healing and life transformations brought by meditations. So let me share some stories from these 8 days with everyone. The first is about my physical conditions. It's my right ankle. About 20 years ago, during my students' days, I used to rollerblade and ride the bicycle. And every time I got injured, it was always the right ankles. But when we are young, our energy and blood circulations are strong, so we recover faster. Perhaps there was an injury, but we couldn't really feel it. However, as we age, when we reach our 30s or 40s, our metabolism slows down and issues starts to appear. We might feel constantly unwell. When a feeling persists, you might think of seeing a doctor. But this discomfort is also accompanied by my gout. And gout, because it's at the joint? Yes, I was born without gout. I developed gout in my late 20s, almost 30. So the gout point is also here. Later, I went to consult a doctor. I mentioned that this area get injured repeatedly because gout points are usually at the joint, so it's possible for it to occur at this point too. I eventually went to see a doctor. The doctor just prescribed medications for me, whether it's my ankle or joint. So as for traditional Chinese medicines, it's acupuncture, but the effect of acupuncture is limited. Later, I went to seek realignment therapy. There are many techniques used by realignment masters, so you have to try them one by one. So some just follow the standard SOP, you come in and they apply the whole SOP on you. So I say my ankle still feels a bit uncomfortable. So I say, okay, let's lie down and I'll work on it. I say I still feel a bit uncomfortable. And they say that's just how our process is. So I say, okay, I roughly know from the middle of the process. Actually, I don't understand how it turned into now. I became randomly find a chiropractor and you just help me with alignment. Then I'll know if your skills are up to par or not. Because I've been injured too many times and all the way until now. And 2 years ago, my knee started acting up. It has never hurt before. But suddenly 2 years ago, it began to ache. It hurts. And I don't know why. I went to see a doctor and he also said he didn't know the reason. So the doctor directly told me, I don't know the cause. Let's start with some painkiller. So now it becomes so painful, or rather so tight that my legs feel stiff. And this knee isn't straight, it's bent. And when it's bent, if you don't take care of it, you won't be able to walk. So that's a bit troublesome. So it has turned into first ankle discomfort, then the second issue is gout, and the third is knee. So does this class make a difference? Yes, I'll explain to you. Now my left foot is normal now. As for my right foot, it's basically like this. I have an 8 kilograms weight attached to these legs. That's really heavy and it's uncomfortable. So on the first day, so after finishing the first class, the original 8 kilograms became 7 kilograms. So it felt a bit more relieved. Then on the second day, it became 6 kilograms. So it has been consistently going down, 5 kilograms, 4 kilograms. And by yesterday, it was 90% better. So at 90%, this ankle area has loosened. Sometimes this area still feels a bit tight, but it has also loosened. So this is my personal experience of the class directly benefiting the body. So hold on, let's summarize with numbers. So your ankle has an issue for over 20 years and your knee has problems for 2 years, right? And you managed to recover 90% in just 8 days? That's fast. Great, congratulations. And secondly, I actually want to share 4 things. The first is the injuries on my right foot. The second topic is about repentance. Here in this context, we all chant the Medicine Buddha Heart Mantra. Later on, I was also chanting the Medicine Buddha's Heart Mantra. And suddenly, an image appeared in my mind. And the image of an ancient well. An ancient well? Yes, a water well. So why I call it an ancient well, that's because this image appears. It took me back to my childhood about 40 years ago. It was around when I was 7 or 8 years old. So I was a very mischievous child. So when I was a child in the countryside, I used to play with many cats and dogs. So I was really quite mischievous. So I once threw a cat into a well. So I thought I was just playing with it. But I ended up causing its death. However, over time, this memory has been buried. I've already forgotten about it as it happened so long ago. So this time when you chant the Buddha's name, you see this well and then you repent. Well, when I saw this well, I knew it was coming for me. I couldn't control my body. I involuntarily said, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." That's great. Then I continued to tell it, "I do not know if you're doing well in that world, so I will keep chanting and dedicating merits to you. I hope that you will have a better future." Very good. Thank you. That's wonderful. So next we have a pair of sisters from Taiwan, Lian Qiling and Lian Qipei. It's their first time attending a Bodhi meditation course. In just a few days of the health and happiness class, what kind of benefits did they gain? Let's listen to their sharing. So after I gave birth to my son, I started having hives every day. And it was quite serious. And I would wake up in the middle of the night feeling itchy. I even consulted a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. The physicians prescribed some medicines for me. He handed me a list and said, "You can't eat this list of food." And the first item was coffee. I just torn it up. I thought, my God, if I have to follow this list, my life will be too dull. So I started taking an anti-allergy pill every day and just living like that. So when my elder sister asked me yesterday, I suddenly realized that I haven't had allergy these 2 days and haven't even taken any medicine for the past 3 days. And my sister benefited even more because she has chronic insomnia, which is a very severe. Wait a moment, Qiling, you have another issue, right? So you wake up at night. Yes, and always get up at night. I urinate too frequently. And my sister knows that whenever we go out, the first thing I do is to look for a restroom. So when I sleep, although I'm not as severe as my sister, I still wake up 2 or 3 times at night. And then for the past few nights, these past few days, I've only gone to the restroom once. Just before waking up in the early morning. I wouldn't have known if you hadn't mentioned it. Then when you brought it up, I remembered. Honestly, I felt like, wow, this amazing journey has brought so many benefits. Yes, truly regretful, really. I've been taking sleeping pills for many years. I need sleeping pills to be able to fall asleep. And it started with just 1 pill, and I've gradually increased to taking 5 pills a day now. And the most I've taken is 7 pills. But even with sleeping pills, I still don't sleep well and keep waking up. So I wake up every half hour or hour. But recently, I have suddenly noticed that I can sleep through the night. The day before yesterday, I tried reducing my sleeping pills by 1, and I still slept through the night. And then, these past few days in class, it's always my sister calling me, "Hey, wake up, don't be late." So I feel like my sleep quality has improved. Also last year, I had a fall. I felt completely on my left side. So now, my left side is all metal. So there are metal plates inside. That's serious, yes. So up until now, my left cheek was completely numbed. And even now, these areas, including the gum, still is. But in the past few days, I've noticed suddenly that while brushing my teeth, my gums has regained sensations. But this area, I think if I continue practicing the Master's teachings, I should gradually get better. At that time, while I was chanting, that wasn't supposed to close my eyes, but I visualized, and suddenly an image appeared. I wasn't clear about it then because it was my first day and I was a novice. I saw the Bodhisattva in the middle. Yes, this Buddha. We didn't even know which Buddha this was, and the Buddha gave me something that resembles a precious pearl. Then my hand reached out. He placed it in the palms of my hands and it even started to glow. As it started glowing, I don't know the reason why, I instinctively placed it on my body like this. So on the first day, I didn't fully understand. Then afterwards, I began to cry non-stop until I finished chanting. Everyone was already getting up while I was still crying over there, with tears everywhere. I even asked her, "What's wrong with you?" because I was crying too. But I was wondering why I was crying. I didn't expect my sister to cry even more intensely than I did. Yes, it was so much in line with our teaching, and perhaps later I explained to the elder sister. I mentioned that she might have been on medications for too many years, so there are all types of sleeping pills, or these are related to mental health. There might still be some toxins in the brain, so they are also expelled through tears and mucus. It should all be fine, so the effects start to gradually appear afterwards. Yes, thank you. So I got to know Bodhi Meditations in 2012. Then I entered the meditation center. I volunteered at the meditation center, continuing to volunteer. Because I was divorced at the age of 32, I was raising my child on my own. At that time, my child was only in elementary school. The financial situations wasn't very good. I wanted to improve my financial situations. Our company has a promotion exams, but you have to work continuously for 20 years to take the promotion exams. So my original position was considered a contract job. So the job was a contract position. So it's a kind of contract that renewed annually. What we call contract work. So it's not a permanent job. It's unstable. Still have to wait for 20 years. Then in 2015, I happened to be eligible to take the exams. So I thought to myself, in order to change these situations, I prepared for a year. After preparing for that year, I studied on my own. Then I went to the meditation center. The teacher at the meditation center said, if you want to succeed in your career, you should invite the gold tanka. At that time, there was a gold tanka. Yes, we'll introduce to that. It's an Eastern lapis lazuli world gold tanka. Hanging it at home would be beneficial. So I thought I should invite it and place it in my living room. Later, when the exams was approaching, although this is a promotion exam, it is equivalent to a national exams. The scope of the questions is very, very broad. It's very difficult. It's actually not easy to pass. So I thought I would light a lamp in the meditation center. At that time, there was Taipei and New Taipei Meditation Center. I lit a blessing lamp in each, hoping to pass exam. I hope to pass in one go, with without much hardship. Later on, the day of examinations, when I got the questions, I thought it was truly amazing. I was taking the examinations on criminal procedure law and criminal law, because she works in the legal field. It turned out that there were 4 questions on criminal law and criminal procedure law, and about 2 of them were those I saw the night before. What a coincidence! I studied like this for a whole year, and I would forget what I read before. I couldn't remember clearly at all. I thought, how is this possible? How is this possible? I felt like my master was helping me. So the essay topic was broad, with wide range. I only prepared for one topic, and it turned out that was exactly the one. Wow, that's amazing. Then I thought, wow, this is really great. But after the exams, I still felt uncertain. I thought I might not get accepted. Later, I waited for the results to be announced. A month later, when the result was announced, not only was I accepted, but I also ranked first. Wow, the applause is so enthusiastic. This is so exciting. So I'm extremely grateful to Master. He changed my financial situations. My salary increased by about a third. Wow. And I also became a full-time civil servant. And I can receive the pension. You see, completely improved. It's fantastic. I'm so happy. Later on, in 2015, I invited Tanka. I felt that in my home, since I was young, I always heard those strange sounds, like pots and pans from the kitchens. The sound seems to come from there, as if they were falling to the ground. But when I went to check, there was nothing. So it felt a bit eerie to me. So it happens for many years. So it continued during my childhood. But I was very frightened. But due to financial constraint, moving was not an option. So I often felt very scared. I thought about Master's painting. So it seems like the teachers always introduce them, saying that they're great for home protections, for feng shui, and ward off evil. So I kept acquiring the Master's painting continuously. And my Master's Tankas and Buddha statues are at home. So after so many years, I don't know when, I stopped hearing those strange noises. That's great. So the house became very auspicious. So you see, the house used to be a bit strange, right? Now it became an auspicious residence. So then I talk about another benefit experienced physically. Because I have to work, we need to look at the computer. And one day, when I turned on the computer, there was about a dozen words in the line. I couldn't see 7 or 8 of those words with one eye. So I wonder why is this, so I went to the hospital to check them. So the doctor at Mecca is considered an authority on macular issues. He helped me take the photos, and he said my issues is due to the aging of the eyeballs. A membrane has fallen onto the macula. So my vision is blurry when I look out. He said, go pray to your Buddha first, and after a week we'll see what the results are. So what a good doctor. Let's see if he will leave on its own. Otherwise, if we proceed with surgery, it will be cost around 200,000. And after that, I'll have to sleep sitting up for 3 months. Yes, have to sleep sitting up. Oh, that's tough. So I felt really troubled. Later, I thought I should quickly go to the meditation center to light the lamp for my karmic debtors. So when I went to light it, the meditation center teachers happened to say that there is currently a true heart chanting class being held. Later, I thought, why not sign up for the class? So I registered for the class. About 3rd and 4th days of the class, one night, I had a dream. The scene was like a Dharma assembly. So there, Master was distributing to everyone a present, a bunch of green grapes. And each person received one. When it was my turn, I said to Master, Master, what's the conditions of my eyes? And Master gave me 2 strings. Later, after giving that, it felt like morning, and the sky was bright, and I woke up. After waking up, I thought, does this greenish blue have something to do with the eyes? That's just my own thought. Later, on the way to the metro to go to class, I saw the scrolling text at the metro display. and my visions became clearer. Although it wasn't completely healed, but it became much clearer and I could see some words. After waiting for a week, I went back to the hospital to check up. So the doctor then looked at me and said that, wow, looks like surgery won't be necessary. The membrane has been detached from the retina. That's amazing. Because he has been practicing medicine for about 30 years, he is the authority on the macula. He then said, these eyes naturally moved away from the macula, and this is the second person I've encountered this. That's what he said. Do you tell him that you chant? I said, yes, I did, and I told him that you asked me to find my Buddha. I felt very grateful to Master. That's wonderful. That's also a benefit for my daughter. Because I got divorced quite early, my child was very young then, so I wasn't very close to her. I wasn't really good at chatting with her. Is that because your daughter is with the dad? No, I was the one taking care of her. Maybe you're too busy or something. It's just that she might not express herself much. Later, I joined Bodhi Meditation. Fortunately, Master organized youth camps. So once in 2016, it was held in New Taipei City. I signed her up for it. She was initially reluctant to come, but eventually did. She attended twice, this time and the one in Canada. And after attending the class, her mind became more open. She started talking to me and sharing her thoughts. We are able to talk about anything. A mother-daughter relationship like that of friends, that's so envious. Then, often after that, Master finishing a live streams, we discuss what Master was talking about. That's wonderful. I really enjoyed it. And I'm extremely grateful to Master for making my family happy and fulfilled. Well, you see, career is good, finance is good, house is good, health is good, and daughter is good. That's amazing. I joined Bodhi in 2013 in Jakarta, Indonesia. At that time, I wouldn't say I had major health issues, but my emotional state was quite weak. My family, my husband's temper was very bad. Could you talk about why your husband's temper worsened? So, well, at that time, I didn't know. Many people experience depressions. Why is he so? Do you know? Perhaps people from Singapore knows. In 1996, there was a plane explosion. The silk air from Jakarta to Singapore. Because at that time, I was also living in Singapore. There was an air crash. They were going to Singapore for a wedding. So it was her family on that plane. Traveled from Indonesia to Singapore for a wedding. Unfortunately, there was an accident halfway. The wedding was for my sister-in-law, my husband's sister. So how many family members were on that plane? My mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and their 2 daughters. Oh, 5 people, 3 generations. Yes, at that time, it was extremely painful. The newspaper wrote about a family spanning 3 generations. At that time, my mom-in-law, child, and granddaughter were lost. Actually, it's your family. So your husband essentially lost his mother, his brother, sister-in-law, and also 2 nieces. Wow. So the blow was too much for him. Actually, the 2 nieces arrived in Jakarta, Indonesia on a holiday. Because it was December, they went to the house in Jakarta, rushed back to Singapore because we had to attend a wedding. At that time, my husband didn't know what to do either. Upon hearing the news, we immediately headed to Singapore's airport. Yes, the airport, to check if that plane had disappeared without a trace. Later, honestly, we still didn't know the reason. It suddenly exploded. The explosion at the time left no bodies to be found because it was at sea. Yes. So they salvaged at sea and found a few fingers, some hair, and scrub. The brain was completely just bits and pieces shattered. Nothing left. So tragic. Later, my husband and I returned to Indonesia because my husband needs to manage the entire company and factory by himself. Previously, he and his brother, whom he loved the most, along with his mother. And now, he's the only one left to handle all the business and manage these people. Later, his temper started to worsen gradually. Yes, he has to bury his grief deep inside, so his temper might he speaks so loudly like thunder. The children are too scared to come out of the house. They don't dare to see their father in the room. Oh, really? What about you? My heart races every day. Every day my heart races like this. I'm also very afraid when I hear the noise. Sometimes I get really angry. I slam the door and he slams it too, and so do I. The children are very annoyed when they hear it. And one day he loudly threw things. But that's one of his good points is that he doesn't hit his wife. Luckily, you see how tolerant she is, right? So once our old DVD player, he broke it. He even smashed the player. So the TV was also about to be broken. At the company, when he's unhappy, he throws the phone. He actually behaved in this way to vent the sadness in his heart. Because big men can't cry, right? Sometimes there are many things that are hard to express. Yes, the pressure is immense. Even the children are starting to feel the pressure. Afraid to go out, stay in their rooms, afraid to see their father. Later, the children went to study in Singapore. They trembled at the thought of that coming. So, joining Bodhi in 2013, I felt very relaxed and cheerful. Later, when I went home, my husband noticed I had changed. He asked, "Why? You become a different person." He said I was fierce. My husband told me, "I've never spoken up before." Later, he asked, why his wife joined. Why learn Bodhi? He later told me. Why no longer fierce but became gentle? So I suggested, "You should also attend the class." He said, "No. Why should I go?" Still very loud. Yeah, if I stand for a day, how much money will my business lose? Well, truly speak like the big boss. And I said, just attend for 2 days. If you're not happy, you don't have to go. All right, I'll listen to you. So in the end, he attended and I quietly refrained from asking for a day. Because at that time, I was already volunteering directly in the translation sections. I didn't even consider whether he would go. So on the third day, my heart raced, wondering if he would go. So I was worried. Yes, he changed his clothes and left. And I was on the fourth day, it starts again. And I was worried if he would go. And he changed his clothes again and said for the first time, "I'm not going. I'm just telling you for 2 to 3 days, that's all." Okay. Later, he took a shower and changed his clothes. I look over there, and he left again. He went to the meditation center again. And later, when it was 8.5 days, he surprisingly completed the entire course, finished the whole course. They say they chant for their parents during the course, and he was crying loudly, and I heard it. Her husband is genuinely straightforward like that. He raised his voice when angry, chants loudly, and cried loudly too. Later, he and I also signed up as volunteers. Wow! And everyone in his team is young. He said, "Don't put me in a group with people with white hair. I want to be in a group with young people for these 8 days." He doesn't want to sit with those with white hair. He wants to find young people to be with. Now, he is also volunteering with me. Wait a minute, so his temper changed? And he's back to being the warm husband he used to be? That's right. It is like a tiger turning into a sheep. Well, the tiger has turned into a sheep. Now, we understand Master's guidance. This way, we perform good deeds and volunteer happily. And the children are gradually changing, coming out of the room to chat with us. They can discuss things with Dad, discuss things like the company and so on. And the children are already studying abroad in Melbourne. So when they come back, they'll cook for us. Wow, that's wonderful. The child is so considerate. Now, so I have 3 children. 2 sons are married, and I'm truly very happy. And this is great. I have accumulated a lot of merits and continue working in the meditation center. My husband is at the Energy Bagua point. Yes, he went there, and he has a lot of compassion. He is very compassionate towards the elderly. One day, I saw him. He was very touched. There was an old lady who had a stroke. So when she came to the meditation center to take off her shoes, he kneeled down there. Your husband knelt down to tie the old lady's shoelace? Yes. I was truly moved in my heart looking at my husband. So this is something that Teacher Ansan mentioned to me. She talked about this detail. She said that her husband is one of our Bodhi disciples, and he has learned very well and thoroughly from Master. He is a big boss, directing so many people, yet he will. Because he lost his mom in the plane crash, he treats other students and those with connections as if they were his own mother, with respect and care. So when they come to Energy Bagua, all the elderly ladies, he treats them with the same care he would, like his own mother. He even make them laugh. To every elderly lady, he would say, "This is my mom, this is my mom." That's truly touching. And every month, he remembers the birthdays of the elderly ladies. He knows every elderly lady's birthday. He keeps a record of them. So thoughtful. He even went to celebrate their birthday. Celebrating their birthday, that's wonderful. So that's your husband's transformations and the family's good fortune. Yes, the family is very harmonious now. The children, the grandchildren. Can you see that she has grandchildren? She has 2 grandchildren. Such a young and beautiful grandmother. Last year, in the year of the dragons, I had 2 grandsons. 2 grandsons born in the year of dragons, from the eldest sons and the second sons. That's wonderful. That's because of what Master taught us. First, learned us to chant Master names and resolve the knots in the heart. Then learns about Master's compassion. Not only is he very kind and care towards his family, he has no temper. He treats everyone outside with the same respect and care as he would his own mother. So truly a good disciple of Bodhi, grateful to Master. So we need to accumulate merits, volunteers, offer lamps, and then we often practice chanting. So this is truly a genuine practice and realizations. That's wonderful. I attended Bodhi Meditations for the first time because of my mom. Before attending Bodhi Meditations, my mom would always easily lose a temper. When I argue with my dad, she would throw things. When they argued, we kids would be very scared, because their arguments were very loud. Every time they argued, we would hide in our rooms, too afraid to watch. As a child, I really wanted to grow up quickly and go to college, then live outside, not wanting to stay at home with them. After high school, I often hang out, only returning home at night, and leaving very early in the morning. In 2013, my mom joined Bodhi Meditations. We noticed the changes in her. Mom becomes more gentle. The most noticeable change is that she can say thank you and sorry. We thought these changes were only temporary, and then after that will return back to normal. But a year has passed. Mom is getting better and better. She no longer argues with Dad. If dads get angry, Mom becomes even more gentle. Perhaps because of this, Dad no longer loses his temper. So in the following years, our whole family gradually started participating in Bodhi meditations, one after another. Each of us benefited from it. Later, my mom has the opportunity to work full-time at the Jakarta Meditation Center. I started working full-time in 2017. While working at the front desk, I noticed some participants looked unwell when they first registered, a bit stern. But by the third or fifth days of the fitness class, smiles began to appear on their faces. They also started to greet others proactively. Seeing such changes, I feel that Master is truly amazing, and Master's teachings are truly wonderful because in just 8 days, it can transform people with illnesses or mental issues, making them better. I major in psychology at universities, and I understand that mental illnesses and depressions require long-term treatment. However, after attending an 8-day course with Master, many people became healthier. My mom might have read books about face reading. They say that my birth date and time might not be favorable. So my mother was very worried. She feared my life might not be long. But the book said, if you want to change your destiny, you should do more good deeds and accumulate merits. This is the same as what Master said. Later, my mother joined Bodhi and met Master. Master said that if you want to change your destiny, you must do more good deeds. I didn't expect that the bridge of my nose here used to be really low. Now, it has risen. Also my chin. I didn't expect the chin could change too. Yes, it happens without me realizing it, because I serve everyone in the meditation hall every day, and I chant Buddha's name and perform full prostrations. I didn't expect such a change. Because I've been in the meditation hall for many years, I want to have a partner. During prostrations or chanting, I communicate and pray to the Master as if chatting. I told Master, if there's no suitable partner in the meditation hall, someone from outside the meditation hall is also fine, but must support my practice. After some time, in 2021, someone introduced me a boyfriend. When I was about to meet this guy, I spoke to Master in my heart. If he is truly my partner, please give me a sign, Master. I hope he is tidy, clean, and not stingy. And I also hope that he is filial to his parents. It turned out to be exactly like that after we met. All my expectations were fulfilled. All the hopes and requests made to Masters went very smoothly and got married.
她结婚了
So she got married.
2023年结婚，
Married in
是的，一
2023.
切都很顺利。
Yes, everything
双
went
方父母
smoothly.
也都很
Both
支
sets of
持，
parents were very supportive.
还有
There's
供
also
灯
the
的经历。
experience of offering lamps.
我经常为
I
爸
often
爸供
offer
灯。
lamps for my father.
去年6月的晚
One
上，
evening in
我正
June
在跟爸
last
爸
year,
通电
I
话。
was on the
我
phone
们
with
经
my
常
dad.
通电话，
We often
因为
talk
爸
on
爸
the
在外
phone
地，
because
住
my
在
dad
加
lives
里
out
曼
of
丹。
town in
那
Kalimantan.
天晚上
That
7
evening
点半，
at
爸爸
7:30,
像平常
Dad
一样
chatted with
和
me
我聊
as
天，
usual.
但是
But
9点
at
半的时候，
9:30,
嫂嫂
my
打电话给
sister-in-law
我，
called me
问爸爸怎
asking
么
what
了。
happened to Dad.
我很紧张，
I got very nervous,
就再打电话给
so
爸
I called Dad
结
again.
果是妈妈
So
接
it
的。
was Mom who answered the
妈妈说
call.
等一下，
Mom said, "Hold on a
我在
moment."
电话里听
I
到
heard
爸爸的
Dad's
声
voice on the
音，
phone.
像是在
It
气
sounded
喘。
as if he was out of breath.
于是他们马上
So
送爸爸去
they
医院。
immediately took Dad to the hospital.
到了医院后，
After
发现爸爸不
arriving
是
at the
呼吸问
hospital,
题，而
they
是肚子
found that it
疼。
wasn't a breathing
那
issue
天
but
晚上
stomach
做了
pain.
X 光检查，
That night, they did an
医
X-ray
生说爸爸的胃
examinations.
穿孔了。
The doctor said Dad has a
因
perforated
为只检
stomach
查了一次，
because they only checked once.
我们想再
So
次
we
确
wanted
认，
to confirm once more.
所以转院
So
到
we
更大的城
transferred to a
市
larger
温店，
city, Pontian.
大概有5小时
It's
的车
about a
程。
5-hour
我一
drive.
早从
I
雅加
flew
达坐飞
directly
机
from
直接到
Jakarta
坤
there
店。
in the morning.
那天早上我
That
去机场
morning,
之
before I
前，
went to the airport,
已经为
I
爸
had
爸
already
点灯，
offered lamps for my dad,
希望一切顺
hoping
利。
everything would go smoothly.
医生做了血
The
液检
doctors
查，
conducted a blood test and
也看
also
了之前医院
reviewed
的
the
X 光
X-ray
结果，
results from the previous hospital.
确实是胃
So
穿
it
孔。
was indeed a stomach
医生说必须手术。
perforations. The doctor said
我们跟妈
surgery
妈
is
商量后，
necessary.
妈妈
After
说好，
discussing with
那就
Mom,
手
Mom
术吧。
agreed.
因为
So
我
we
们已经
decided
点
to
灯，
proceed with the
请师
surgery.
傅。
Since we've already lit the
应该会
lamps
顺
and
利。
prayed to Master, it should be
上午
smooth.
4点，
At 4
医生
p.m.,
说晚上
the
6点
doctor
会
says
进
that
手
the
术
surgery
室
would
开始
begin
手
at
术，
6 p.m. Everything
一切
went
都很
very
顺利。
smoothly.
8点
The
手术就
surgery
完
was
成了，
completed by 8 p.m.
爸爸已经
Dad
醒
had
了，
woken
不
up
再疼
and
痛。
is no longer in pain.
看到爸爸的
I
脸色
noticed
也
that
变
Dad's
得红润
complexions
了，
became rosy,
不再苍
no
白。
longer pale.
本来以为
I
恢复期
originally
会比较
thought
久，
the
因为
discovery
是大
period
手
would be
术，
quite long because
但
it was
是
a
只
major
过了5
surgery.
天，
But
爸爸就
after
能
just
坐着
5
吃
days,
饭，
Dad was
然
able to
后
sit up
我
and
们就回
eat.
家了。
Then we went home.
很高兴
I'm
能遇
very
到师
glad to have
傅，
met Masters. I'm very grateful to Master.
很感恩师父。
禅修
Meditations not only transform the
更
body,
是整个
it
人生。
encompasses one's entire life.
我们听到了
Today,
不同
we
的
heard
故事
different
却
stories,
有着相同
yet
的
they
主
share
题
the same
从
theme.
痛苦到
From
解
suffering
脱，
to
从黑暗
liberations,
到光明。
from darkness to
当我们
light.
真正敞
When we
开
truly
心扉，
open our
去
hearts
感
to
受
feel
佛
the
法的慈
compassions
悲，
of Buddhism,
生命的
the
转变
transformations
就
of
会开
life
始
will
发生。
begin to occur.